Hello, inbound Explore the Seas guests. My name is James Van Fleet. I'm the Chief Meteorologist for Royal Caribbean, coming to you from our global headquarters in Miami, Florida. And we wanted to just talk a little bit about the weather systems that have been causing this delay, and then also talk about what you'll see as you board on Friday. Now, of course, our reasoning, we've had videos running for our current guests on Explore the Seas, and we realize you haven't had the benefit of that because you're not on the ship yet. And that's why we wanted to do this video and get an email out to you so you could at least have an understanding of our reasoning in wanting to stay back. Now, I will say this weather setup has been exceptionally unusual. I've only been with the company for about 3 years, and I think this would be only the second or third time that we are seeing waves of this height for this duration. And I want to show you the waves. Now, they are in feet because I pulled this from the US, obviously, but when we start talking about wave height, which is the WVHT, 20, 30, 33 and a half. I mean, those are 10, 11, and 12 meter seas observed. That's the buoy right in the middle of the Bay of Biscay, and that was the first system as it was coming through. Now, there's basically 4 lows that have been coming across, and as we get to Friday, that's going to be the opening to get the ship there and turn. Now, here's about, 1700, so we're talking about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock in the evening for us as we depart Southampton and head out. We're looking for seas at about 1.3 meters. Again, out there in the Atlantic it will be our 5th system developing, and that's going to be producing just south of Greenland seas of about 8.8 or 9 meters. So our idea is that obviously we want to get ahead of that. So as we leave, we're only looking in the English Channel at a very comfortable 1.3 meters. And that's, again, right around 5, 6 o'clock as we are departing on Friday. Getting down into the Bay of Biscay, if we go and if there's a couple of different options we could be looking at. It'll take about a day and a half, between a day and a half, 2 days to go from Southampton to get around the tip of Vigo there. And that's basically what we want, because I can get you in better weather after that or better seas. But you can see that system does come across, and by the time we are at around, looks to be, about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. around England time anyway, which will be ship time Saturday, we will be seeing waves increasing to about 4.5 to 5 meters. Now, we'll have a couple of options here. One thought is that as we get to the areas out of the English Channel, we possibly could go north and then drop south. We may try to get ahead of the system around Vigo. Either way, we still have a couple days to make that plan. And once we do, take a look here, Monday, Tuesday, you can see this high pressure, that's what I'm aiming for Explore the Seas and the Crossing. We get you in that sweet spot, the rest of the ride should be piece of cake, seas that are manageable, very little ship movement, very good weather with sunshine and some lovely sea days as well as a stop in St. Martin. But the idea is we'll either go straight west, may even hold up south of Ireland, then go west, then drop south, or we may cut across the Bay of Biscay, but there's still several days to work with. We've got the entire week to look at weather models and make the best plan, and we will choose the one that is the most comfortable for you. So again, keeping in mind, we realize it's been quite frustrating to have this kind of a delay in the transatlantic. Please know, I've only been here for about 3 years, so I'm coming from the corporate world just like you, or the everyday man and woman's working world, where you work so hard to get a couple of weeks of vacation a year, get your holiday, and obviously every single day are probably the most valuable days to you of the year, some of the most, right? Please know, we think about that every day. No decision has been weighed lightly. And above all, I'm trying to keep you, the ship, the crew, everything and everybody as safe and comfortable as possible. And in my short 3 years here, again, this is maybe 2 or 3 times that weren't hurricane or typhoon related where we've had this kind of delay. It's highly unusual, but at the same time, we are now talking November weather in the North Atlantic, and these things can happen. So as we get you underway, or as you head into board, it'll be about 6 degrees first thing in the morning in Southampton. But as we get you on board, yes, 10 degrees and quite chilly. But coming up in the days ahead, we'll make another video for you, and especially you'll see them once you're on board the ship, where we talk about our forecast for the crossing, for St. Martin, and as you arrive into Miami. So hopefully this helps explain our reasoning a little bit better. But friends, we may not have addressed everything, and that's okay. Find me on Twitter at James Van Fleet. Instagram is Jim Van Fleet. Follow along. Feel free to ask a question. every day I'm jumping in several times a day and answering as many questions as I can. And that's the idea, is we want you to understand the reasoning for this. We know it's cutting into your vacation, and we're truly sorry for that. We can't control the weather, but we will do everything we can to control how safe and comfortable you are in the weather conditions we have. So take care, friends. I'll see you on board with some more videos and forecasts, and we'll try to get another one out to you in the next day or two to show you how the models are developing before we depart on Friday. So in the meantime, enjoy a couple days, obviously longer than we wanted to have you hanging out and getting on board Explorer, but we will see you on board soon for a wonderful transatlantic crossing. Until then, stay safe, friends. We'll talk to you soon when we do. Thank you for choosing Royal Caribbean.